Hi everyone, welcome to another session of Quarantine Cooking with Stir Crazy. I just want to start off by saying thank you very much for all the support you've given us and obviously sharing and liking on our pages. If you would also please share and like and invite other people to like our pages. It also helps us to build an audience, and obviously going back when we're out of lockdown, it's going to help us tremendously in gaining a nice audience. So thank you very much for sharing and doing that so far. We're going to today make a frozen nut dessert. It's actually a frozen macadamia dessert, but yeah, on the recipe you'll see it says hazelnut or almond, so you can choose whatever nuts you like. So this is the recipe here. It's a very simple recipe. It takes a little bit of a while to do, but there's also very few ingredients. So if you look at the ingredients here, we've just got some macadamia nuts, we've got 6 eggs, some icing sugar, about 200 grams of icing sugar, a little bit of standard sugar, some vanilla essence and cream. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to start off by, what we're going to do is we're going to caramelize these nuts. So I'm actually going to get the sugar on the boil, get that nice and warm and create a caramel. And then we're going to put the nuts in there and literally just toast them a little bit in there and get that nice sugar coating. So what you want to do is you want to get this, mix this up a little bit. In fact, I'm going to turn it off the heat. You just want to mix it up a little bit so that all the sugar dissolves. So you need to get the sugar to dissolve first before you actually heat it up. So I'm just going to let that stand there for a while. And that should dissolve. I'll come and mix it up a little bit later. And then I'm just going to get it on the boil. And then we're going to start working with the eggs. So we need to separate the eggs here. And we're literally just using the egg white. So I'm going to separate these eggs nicely. And the egg yolk, I mean there's 6 beautiful egg yolks here that we can actually use for something like a creme brulee or a really nice egg dessert. So these eggs are really nice and fresh. Okay, so just separate these quickly. And guys, if there's any other dessert type things that you want to learn about or how to make it, we have had some requests. So I think someone asked for a tart tatin once. So we may be doing that in the next week. If there's any other recipes that you'd like to do, please give us a shout. Send us a message on Facebook or WhatsApp, and we'll do it for you. Okay, so just getting the last one in here. And then I'm going to blitz this, and I've got my blitzing machine, although it's very practical, is hell of a noisy. It's one of those things that you have in the kitchen for ages, and it just seems to stay there, and I never get a chance to replace it. So, there we go. And wait, let me just get this water on the boil, so I'm going to get that going. So this is nice and clear. Okay, so you can see all the sugar is dissolved. So I'm just going to get that on the boil, and I'm going to get that to bubble up nicely so it creates a really good caramel. This will take 1 or 2 minutes to do, and this forms the basis of our whole dessert and also any nougat dishes. Okay, so I'm going to do this by hand so you guys can hear me what's going on. So literally this is how you make a standard nougat. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this. It's literally egg white, and I'm going to whisk this up until it's got nice peaks, and then I'm going to get it onto the boiler here so that it actually cooks the nougat, or cooks the egg white.
Geraldine Dazel says, panna cotta please, because mine keeps failing miserably.
Panna cotta.
Tell me about the best stir crazy panna cotta you have.
Fantastic. You'll do a panna cotta? No problem. Okay, so you want to get the egg whites to this sort of really nice consistency. It looks like a little bit of off-pieced snow. Looks fantastic. Then I'm going to set this over a bowl of hot water. And we're just going to carry on whisking that until that cooks a little bit. And as it starts cooking, I'm actually going to start adding my caster sugar in, and it's going to get this really nice sort of shiny texture. If you take a look here, you can see what's happening to our sugar. So our sugar is starting to boil nicely. It's also starting to cook a little bit, which is great. So you want it to start burning, but you don't want it to burn too much. You just want that really nice. You can see it's getting that sort of caramelly color, which is great. I'm going to leave it on for a few minutes. And this can stay on a bit. We just put these nuts in quickly. So there we go. So you can see there's my caramel sugar. I'm just going to add my nuts straight into that and coat them up around nicely. And then we're just going to pour this over into a Teflon sheet. So here's a nice Teflon sheet. Just going to take this out, and that's going to form almost like a brittle. You can use baking paper or anything for this. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit like that. That looks fantastic. Give this guy another stir. You can see this is starting to congeal a little bit, which means it's starting to cook. So I'm going to start adding my sugar into this just now. So I also want to take the hazelnuts, and I'm going to stick them into the fridge just to cool a little bit nicely. So let's just do that quickly. So you can see this is almost like gooey. I'm just going to get this into the fridge, just like that. Okay, and that should cool nicely. Right, so while this is going, I'm going to take this off the heat a little bit. And I'm going to start adding my sugar into this. And you can see it's starting to cook quite nicely. It's getting all clumpy, so I'm just going to iron that out a little bit. Put the sugar in, just do that nice and slowly. And this is going to get a really nice sort of silky texture to it. So if you want to make nougat, this is the way to do it. And what you actually have to do is you've got to cook this until it's literally starts thickening properly. We're not going to get to that stage. What we're trying to do here is create this really nice, light, airy consistency. You can see it's starting to get a little bit shiny, which is fantastic. There we go. And it also, you'll feel it starting to get thicker and thicker and thicker. Look at this. Wow, you just want to jump into that. Look at that. That's fantastic. This is like playing with freshly baked or freshly rolled bread. It's one of those feelings, that's one of those things that you just got to do all the time. It's okay.
That looks fantastic.
Wow, fantastic. Right, then I'm going to take a dash of, I've got some vanilla extract. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of vanilla extract in there. Okay, just mix that in nicely. And that's pretty much ready. Now what I'm going to do is I've got about 300 ml of cream. So let's just leave that for a second. I'll take my cream and measure it out really carefully. So I've got 250 ml here. There's another 250 ml here. So if I measure this carefully, that's 375 ml. Just going to get this on the whizzer again. Heat that up nicely. bit tedious to watch, I know, but you have to get the cream to the right consistency. So you want it to form nice little soft peaks like that. Okay, that's done. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to fold this into the egg mixture. Just move that over nicely and we just fold it over like that. That looks fantastic. So this is all really nice and light and fluffy.
You just eat it like that?
You can just eat it like that.
Yeah.
Look at that. So this is almost like an ice cream, but it doesn't set like an ice cream. It sets quite. It does set hard, but it's not as hard as ice cream. So you should be able to ease it out quite quickly. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take my nuts out of the oven. Out of the fridge. Hopefully that's set. These ones are a little bit soft still. So I thought that might happen. So I've had some other nuts made. So this is what I've done. I've actually taken those and broken them up nicely. So you just add these into the mix. And mix that in nicely. And you can put as many nuts in as you want. Obviously, as I said to you, you can use hazelnuts, you can use pretty much anything. Almonds, if you want to, you can start peeling pistachios and put those in. So I'm going to put them into two different containers. This one here is just a standard ice cream bowl, and we're going to set this in the fridge. And the other option you can do is one of these ones, which is these little removable guys. Okay, so it's got a removable base. You just push it up from the bottom. I'm actually going to put some in there as well, and I'll show you what you can do with that. So you can make little individual ones like this if you want to, and they freeze really nicely. Okay, let's put the rest in here.
Very nice consistency.
It is, it does get a little bit sticky, but if you feel like getting inventive, you can actually take this and put a little bit of strawberry coulis and mix that through in there, which will also work nicely. So these then are going to go into the freezer. There you go. There's the ice cream. And then, hey presto, we've got a frozen one. There you go. So I'm going to show you how to plate this nicely. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to push this up. See how nicely that comes up like that. You can actually just take the whole thing, take the base off, slide the base off like that. There you
go. Ready.
And then I've got some really nice strawberry coulis that I've made, which I'm just going to scatter around the dish like this. There we go, and we're going to put a little blob on top. Obviously you can put any sort of fresh cream or whatever you want on top of that as well. And then this is the one that's set nicely. I'm just going to show you how nice and easy this is to scoop out. There we go, look at that. And this has been sitting in my fridge for about probably, I don't know, 8 hours I think. Right, so I'm not even going to scoop that, I'm just going to go dig straight in. So, cheers everybody.
Looks delicious.
Oh, that is so nice. That's one of the best ice creams you're ever going to taste. Okay, so there you go everyone. Beautiful frozen macadamia dessert. Take a look at the website and see the recipe on the website. Yeah. Follow us on Facebook, as I said, and also look out for our online courses. Tomorrow we're doing a dim sum course, and next week I think we're doing a South African cooking class and also an Italian cooking class. So take a look at our online classes on the website, book a class, join us in the kitchen. We use Zoom and various other cameras to show you exactly what we're doing, and it's great fun. So yeah, have a great day and enjoy your ice cream.